Just had some thoughts on, the idea of changing the world, and basically just thinking about it, like, what can you do? Like, what can you really do to be a person that, changes the world? And, I think it's one of those things that, a lot of people kind of think about. It's like such a generalized question, such a huge thing, and such a big undertaking when you think about it as a whole. You kind of think, like, how can I really change the world? And, I think the biggest question is, like, a lot of people kind of ask, and obviously, it's one of the things we've all been asking, in different forms. But I think the most important one is, why do you want to change the world? Um, it's one of the things we always talk about there with FTR is that, the biggest questions are always the why. Why do you want to change the world? What is it that you want to see different? But what's the purpose of changing it? And I think it's something that a lot of people right now are feeling that, there's the biggest thing with the why is that you feel there's a need for it. There's definitely a need for it, because why do so many people feel this way? Like, it doesn't feel like it's a perfect world, and who knows if it ever will be. But I think it's more of just of the understanding that, what the reality is, that it's all comes down to, how you see your world, and how you kind of change it and what you do to change. And it really is that powerful and that simple, because the reality is people think that, if they, well, how can I change the world? And how can one person do it? The reality is, it's the truth. It really is one person. I mean, you just think about, and everyone has this ability, I'm sure of, just think about when you're happy and you're in a room. Do other people get happy around you? Think about when you're sad, and you're in a room with other people and you're acting sad. Do other people get sad around you? So I think it really means, like, in changing the world, the first thing that you have to do is obviously is change what it is you need to change about yourself. Like, what is it that you're not seeing? What is it that you can see better? What is it that you can learn? What is it that you can understand more of? Because there's always more to understand. It's not, it's life. It's not worth just sitting there and just, basically going day to day and not feeling anything from it. That's what I think the biggest thing that everybody, is sensing about it is you don't feel like you're feeling anything. Like, it's just you're on autopilot with a lot of stuff. And autopilot, there's nothing cool. Like, we're living organisms. Like, we want to, when you're living, like, a plant gets, water on it every day, and the soil, the roots grow out, and the more you talk to it and all these different things you hear about it, the more care you show for it, the healthier the plant is, type of thing. People are no different. Like, what's our plant? What's our healthiness? Like, what's the thing that makes us feel good on a day-to-day basis? And the reality is, everyone sits there and we all talk about different things of change. Yeah, I want to work out. Obviously, yes. Training, yes, that's going to make me feel good. Learning a language, that's going to make me feel good. Basically doing all these different things make you feel good. Eating right, like, make you feel good. But in the end, it comes down to, what's the point of making yourself feel good if you're not going to make others feel good at the same time? I think that's the most important part of it, is that, as much as we need to take care of ourselves in the respect of personal, personal feeling and whatnot, it comes down to, it's how you're going to basically go out there and make others feel, by, taking care of yourself first. Obviously, it's most important in figuring out what it is that you need to change about yourself to have the right attitude, and to kind of let certain things go about life. And what I think what it ultimately comes down to is that if you can let those things go, and you can really be open-minded to looking at it as not just what I need to change for myself, but why do I want to change? Again, coming back to that question of why change? Why change now? What's the point? And I think the reality is, with the way things are going, and with what we're seeing in life, the reality is there's a lot of people that feel that of why be different is, why not? Why not? Why not make others feel good? Why not, learn to be better? Why not learn more about yourself so you can realize, what others are feeling the same thing? Why not? Like, it's a good thing. Like, we go out there and You know, if you can create that inside of yourself of why you want to make these changes and understand why you want to make these changes, you know, then you're helping others by what you're learning and understanding and realizing about yourself of the whys. Other people are going to see it. Other people will see it. They're going to feel it. They're going to understand it. You know, like of you're going to inspire them. You know, to be like, wow, like especially if you're somebody that isn't a very, you know, isn't a person that's, you know, super, you know, happy all the time, or it doesn't even have to be super, but like just, you know, especially if you're not a person that's like very inspiring or very anything, like, you know, if you understand the why you want to be different and why you want to change from where you are now, you know, then once your actions start moving forward with what you're doing, you're realizing the whys, and your actions start to get with those around you, and you start to come out of your comfort zone with certain things, and you start to answer those questions. People around you will change. They will, because they're going to see, well, if you can make a change, why can't I? You know, or if wow, did you see how much you changed? I wonder why. You know, why? What caused that? You know, and I think that's the main thing, is just figuring out that why. You know, why you want to change first, and an understanding of why it's important, the effect that it's going to have on the rest of the world. I think that's the main thing, is why should you change? You know, ultimately, why should you change? You know, because it's better. It's better for everybody. Learn about yourself, figure yourself out, understand more about yourself. What makes you tick? You know, because it's going to help us all. In the end, it helps us all be better. You know, I'm guilty of it. You know, the people I know are guilty of it. Of like, just, you know, understanding of, you know, going out there and making that change for yourself first, and then going out there and living it and being that active member of showing that change. You know, so, just some thoughts.